Welcome to the Diary of Dating Over 50 with Tanya R. Lewis, the hottest dating show on social media, hosted by the sassiest model of them all, Tanya R. Lewis. Are you 50 and single, dating or waiting to mingle? Be a guest on the Diary of Dating Over 50 with your host, Tanya R. Lewis.
Welcome to the Diary of Dating Over 50. However, we're going under the umbrella and we are going to the Diary of Life, when life is life with Tanya R. Lewis. And today we have one of my dear friends here, Akella. You know how I do it. I like for people to introduce themselves.
Well, Tanya, thank you so much for having me. Let me just give you a little history about myself. That way, the audience will know who you're actually talking to. Again, my name is Akella. I was born and raised in Marrietta, Georgia, to Francis and Eugene Cook. And I'm 55 years old, and I have 9 amazing children. And each of them are so unique. My husband came with 2, I came with 2, and we have 5 together. And the 5 that we have together, I tell you, is very touchy. Because my husband always told me that I take mentoring to a different level. Because it started out, I was mentoring, and we went from mentoring to foster parents. And then from foster parents, we went to adoption. Then we went from adoption to closing our home. And I'm such a community person that I went from just fostering to DFACS. So I went to a CASA advocate. Once we closed our home for foster care, I became a CASA advocate. That's court-appointed special advocate for kids in DFACS custody. So I went there to continue my service in helping kids. And I used to tell myself, Akella, you don't even like kids like that, but you got so many. And everybody was always coming to our house. Our kids' friends was always coming to our house. So it made me that nurturing person to want to continue to help. And then after that, with all of the mentoring and stuff that we were doing, I became, you might as well say, a humanitarian. With that being said, I still do work for the American Legion. I'm a sergeant at arms, so I'm on the board. I'm also on the board for Marrietta Business Association. I do all their ribbon cuttings because I believe in bringing the community and the business together, because that's the heart passion. And then, of course, I had a business studio in Marrietta. It was a creative space. And I specifically made that to bring a lot of businesses together so they didn't have to go try to get a business location and fail. The business was so huge, the location, it was 12,200 square feet.
Yes, it was.
We had an event room, we had office spaces, and it was so when business didn't have to go open up their own location, they could just come and be a part of ours. They had their own business, they had their own space, they could do whatever they want. They had their own key to make sure that they were in a safe environment and they can run their business how they wanted to.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there.
Yes.
Because you summarizing it. I got a whole lot of questions for you.
Let's go.
Ooh, I got a whole lot of questions for you. First of all, let's go back to these 100 kids you got.
Yes.
Okay, so you have 2 and your husband had 2. Mm-hmm. What in your mind told you to adopt 5 children?
Again, my compassion to help, because I feel like this, like they always say, it takes more than just you to raise your kids. It takes the whole village. And I always know that when it comes to my kids, they may listen to somebody else quicker than they'll listen to me. That's just a mother and father type thing. So if I help protect my kids' friends, it can only make it better. So with me adopting, it keeps kids off the street. If I can keep a child off the street and make sure that they are fed and they're not in any danger, they're not hurting anyone, you can't go wrong with that.
Okay, so tell me some of the cons that you experienced when you first got these children, and then how you attacked it, because your kids are amazing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. A lot of the cons is of course, you have to do a lot of training. If you do not do the training, you are not built for this. You just not. Because, they always tell you when you first get a child, they always like, mommy, daddy. They come the first 2 weeks, perfect kids.
Perfect kids.
Perfect. After them 2 weeks, you just be like, what the hello did I do? It's a lot of therapy. It's like, it's like with your child, they spill milk. They be like, oh, I spilled the milk, I get it up. In this situation, it may be, I spilled the milk and they looking at the milk just all over the floor, and you come in and you like, why didn't you get that up? So there's a difference, but it takes therapy. you
Okay.
got to have therapy. So my cons would definitely be, it's a positive con. You got to have therapy. You got to have that thick skin. You got to be able to understand empathy, sympathy. You got to have all that.
Did you ever at any time say, you know what, I don't know if I can do this?
It was my husband that more so said that because I'm so competitive. And I'm like, this
I'ma
is
do
not
this.
going to get me. My mama told me I'm strong. We're going to get this together.
We're gonna do
gonna work
this.
this
We're gonna
out.
win. We're gonna win at this.
Exactly, yes.
So, okay, so now you got these 5 kids, and you open up this humongous event space.
Yes.
I've been in quite a few fashion shows there.
Yes.
At what point did you say this is so overwhelming that I may have to shut this down? Because it was a sad day when you closed it down. We miss it.
Oh, you got me teasing.
We miss it. Yes, because you know what, you felt like you were wanted and at home, and there was no whole lot of rules and regulations, and you can't do this and you can't do that. It was just peaceful when you came there to whatever event that you were doing.
Exactly. That's when you say life was definitely lifing. And so what do I mean by that? You know, your spouse always say that they understand, you know, and when you're used to being at home all night and you have a studio and you're the only one that's there and you're there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then, you know, when you get home and your spouse sleep, I'm pissed. I'm ready to break up the whole house. How all y'all sleeping? I'm at the studio working. So, you know, it became hard for me mentally. I mean, physically, you know me, I'm walking around with a smile and nobody going to know what I'm sweating.
Nobody knows because of that beautiful smile.
Nobody's going to know what's going on in my household. I may go home and cry. I may go in my office cry, but I'm coming back out smiling because, you know, like to say, it's like people will never see me in that space because sometimes when we are sad, people are happy. So therefore, if I'm smiling, they might be mad. I'd rather them be mad than me mad. So I'm going to just smile. And that way they never know. But to get back to your question is, it was a lot of stress on my family as well as me as well. And what made me actually close it down? Well, you know, I had a lot of space. It started off, it was, like I said, just a creative space. And since I had a big room, I decided that it was an event room. Little did I know, you know, me trying to help everybody. I was helping KSU with their young adult team, and they had a party, and it was big. I was up in there sweating. I'm like, all these people up in here, but the place was big enough to hold all the people. Make a long story short, the fire marshal, someone had a seizure outside. They were not even in the building. They were outside. So the fire marshal came by about 2 weeks later and said that my business license wasn't stated that I had an event room. I was a creative space.
Yes.
So I couldn't market the business as an event room. So that hurt me so bad. And, you know, we open things up thinking that it's something that we can do because we tell in our description as what we have. This is what we have. But by law, when you look at the facts, is not what it was. So I had to be creative in what I was doing.
Okay.
So when it was time to renew the lease, the rent on the building was huge.
Yes.
You know, I got 12,000 square feet. We're talking about over $10,000 a month. And if I'm not able to advertise it with an event room to bring in that money, it was hurting. It was hurting me. It was hurting my family. It was life.
Okay.
Yes.
So how did, but you know what? You got a lot of people, a lot of business from Marrietta that was supporting you.
Yes.
And then this is what I love. You turned Marrietta meetings out with your fans.
Yes.
They look forward to that.
Yes,
Did you bring your
they do.
fans today? No.
They're in the car only because sometimes they just not appropriate. Okay. So I don't ever know. So I didn't. I left them in the car.
Yeah, but so give me a day at when you went to Marrietta to one of the, it was a town hall meetings or
Business association.
Business association.
That's a networking program. We meet every Thursday from 3 to 4:30. So it consists of a whole bunch of people. Some of them have their own businesses. Some of them do not. And we get up, first networking is from 3 to 3:30. At 3:30, everybody sit down. We go around. Each individual person get a chance to speak from 30 seconds up to about a minute, depending on how many people are there. And they give their spiel. They call it, that's their pitch. They give their pitch on what they do. So you know me, I bring out my fans at that point.
You
that's
woke
me.
everybody up.
Exactly. Yes.
I bet you they never had that at that
They
meeting
haven't.
before.
No.
Okay. So how did this notion come in your head that you was gonna run for city councilman for Ward 2? How did that come up?
Well, I will tell you this. I had a couple of my friends, and they said, Akella, this position is coming up, and I want you to think about it. I said, think about what? They said, be in Marrietta City Council Ward 2. I said, no. And they said, why not? And I couldn't come up with an answer. And so I started doing some of the research on what it takes, what type of person would be the best for that position. And I got to thinking, Akella, you're so for your community. You're so about helping others before you help yourself. You're so out there in the public. And I said, you know what? Let me go talk to my husband about this, because if he's not down with this, this is not going to work. And as soon as I had that conversation with him, he said, I support you 100%. That is so freaking you. And I think I started crying. I was like, what?
You ain't had to push him.
No, I did. Yeah. I was shocked.
Wow. Have anybody told you that they don't think you'll be good for it? Because you on the trail now. You on the campaign trail.
I am on the campaign trail.
What have you? Let me put the question this way: what have you experienced that may not be like they side-eyed you and said, no, we don't. You might not be that person.
I haven't had anyone directly say anything like that, but what I have had is they'll say, Akella, you're not a politic type person. I said, you know what? You might be right in that sense. I say the thing is, I've never really had a chance to have to fight for my people in that sense. Now, when someone comes to me, or if I'm knocking door to door, because that's how it started off with canvassing. You go and knocking door to door, and that's what I actually did. And to hear people say, you know what? No one has ever knocked at my door for this. You would be phenomenal with this. And, and they ask me why. I tell them why I'm running. They said, your compassion. It's the way that you make me feel. I know that you would fight for me. And I think that's right there made me really put my foot down and say, let's go.
Okay, so you went back to the basics.
Yes.
Of walking down the street, knocking on people's doors.
Yes.
Because mostly everybody now, it's all about social media.
Exactly.
So you hit the ground running.
Yes. And it be hot outside too.
Get you some water.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about how, because it's important. City schools are important.
Yes.
And I know that you have had your share with all the children that you have.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me how you have experienced some issue with your kids at school and how you made it a positive in their life, and also the school was like, okay, we just love for her to come to this school, because I'm sure a lot of schools love to see you coming.
Okay, I'll give you a prime example, and I tell people I don't even care who hears this, because life happens for everyone.
And absolutely.
My youngest daughter, she had an experience where I tell my kids all the time, I'm going to check your book bag. I'm going to check your phone. I'm going to check your room. That's just me. I work at the courthouse. I'm a bailiff. I keep ordering the courtroom, so I'm going to keep ordering the house. So I'm checking my daughter's book bag for the umpteenth time. And as usual, I found some vapes in her bag. And I'm like, hold up. I got out my phone. I started recording. I say, okay, I need to know where each one of these vapes come from. I recorded, took it to the school. Took it to the school. They brought in the police, brought in the vice principal. We all talked about that. And they said, okay, we're going to investigate all of this, because, it's her word against whoever, whether they gave them to her. Next day, I got an email saying that my daughter's going to be suspended from school. I'm like, Do they know who I am? Do they know what they just do? It was confusing to me, because this isn't something that they caught on my daughter. This was something that I brought to them.
Right.
And I spoke with the lady who had reached out to me. I won't call any names. I reached back out to her. I said, now you're making me look retarded in front of my daughter. I say that because she did wrong. I was telling her to do the right thing. We came up to the school. We did the appropriate channels. I said, and if I have to get technical, I said, speaking, you can't arrest her. You shouldn't be able to just suspend her because you did not catch this on her. Make a long story short, she wasn't suspended from school. She was able to come back to school. She was able to, because she was in ROTC, she was able to get her ranking back. So there was a lot of things that happened. But I let my daughter know, look, you got in trouble. I walked you through it. I was there for you. And I'm letting you know you don't have to get nasty with anyone, but you do have to be, you got to be able to speak up. And that's one thing I want her to know. You got to speak. So with that being said, I was there making sure that my child got all the justice that she needed to get.
Now, did she get any retaliation from that?
No.
From the people that?
No, she didn't. I mean, they admitted to what they did, and no, she didn't.
That's good parenting that all of them, like, okay, we did it. We did.
Well, no, it wasn't like it took.
Okay.
It took a bit to go.
Well, I'm sure it didn't go that easy.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, when did you decide I am going to be a bailiff? How did that happen?
You know, I went into a couple of courtrooms and I look and I'm like, oh, these older people up in here are bailiffs. So my mom, she's been a bailiff for like about 30 years.
Your mother?
And she told me there was a position open. I said, let me just apply for this. Because it's a job, is easy. And I'm like, but all the older people, when I got the job, I was the youngest one and I'm 55. But at the time, I think I was like 49 or something like that. But I was the youngest bailiff. But now I kind of see why. Because, you know, it's very...
People don't leave that job.
They don't leave the job. And then, you know, it's a lot if there's a trial, you're sitting there. So you got to pay attention. You can't be falling asleep, you know, can't be on your phone all the time, that type of thing. So I can see why it's older people that are there.
Okay. So they say that you're not political, but you done sat for almost, how many years as a bailiff?
Probably about like 8 years.
You've been sitting as a bailiff for 8 years. You done heard so many stories.
Oh, heck yeah.
That constitute as getting your political on the ground, you know, in the streets, because you learn so much.
Yes.
You know, how do you think being a bailiff is going to help you once, because I'm putting it in the atmosphere, once you become city council of Marrietta Ward 2?
Well, I will say this. Since I'm born and raised in Marrietta, a lot of the doors that I actually knocked on, people knew me. So with me having a position that I already have, you know, I've worked with the rich. I've worked with the poor. And I tell them I just came up with this tagline. So when they want someone that's going to be for them, they vote for Akella Clore. So you see how that? You see that? But it's like my position, having that position, I'm so easy to talk to. You know, you can come to me and talk to me about the problem. With me having that job, it doesn't really help them any sense. But to me, for them to be in my ward, that means they know I live right down the street. You can come knock at my door and ask a question and make sure that whatever you need is going to be taken to the area it needs to be, to make sure that either tries to get approval or get approved.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You do. You know what? You have. You're in touch with a lot of people.
Yes.
You recently started the Killer Bees. You know I was going to talk about that. You got older people out there getting their line dance on as well as getting their exercise on.
Yes. I have been dancing for over like 30 years. Killer Bees, that's our line dance team, is really me and Shanita. We started this a little over a year ago. So it's probably been about like a year and 4 months ago. It's a line dance class in Marrietta. It used to be at my location. And when I closed the location, I still work with a couple of event places. And we do line dance classes there. It's $5. And we take a line dance, we show it, and then we break it down and teach it to you. So before you leave, you know those line dances.
Wow. And you guys go out, you go to different places.
Yes, if someone actually, because we have a team. Now, we do have a line dance class and we have a team. So if someone wants to call and say, hey, we need you guys to come and perform for us, then we practice it and then we go perform.
Now, do you think you'll still be doing that once you become city councilwoman?
Yes. Look, hopefully we'll get some people that lives on the street now that's willing to come and partake. Because, you know, again, to me, I'm a colorful creation. That means all colors. I want all colors and
Yeah,
everything.
that's been your name for a
exactly.
long
My
time.
family, we're universal. We got black, white, Indian, Puerto Rican, German. We got it all.
Okay. So what is some of your some of the things that you want to attack most or first?
Okay, definitely. Everyone, the ones that I canvassed, they always talked about affordable living.
Huh?
That is the hardest thing. But see, what they
Yes.
don't realize is that this is another thing that made me decide to run for council. I'll give you an example is that a lot of our council team already is either real estate agents or lawyers. So, they're buying up all of the property and they're, building these high price homes, which is all centered around all of the homes. So if you got nothing, I'm giving an example. If you have nothing but $100,000 homes, how can you make that affordable? It's affordable for them, but not affordable for the lower class. So what I want to tackle is having me up in there. I'm able to help negotiate. Meaning, what do I mean by that is if we have a person that's trying to come in and, they're building a complex, 30 homes. What I want to do is, okay, we'll have 20 homes, 15 homes for, I'll just say the rich. Then we'll have so many homes for the elderly. We'll have so many homes for the single parents. We'll have so many homes for the family. So it will be affordable for everyone. A lot of people just don't know, like I said, affordable dictates the community that it is. So if the lowest home is $400,000, that you see what you see
Yeah.
the track. So
Yeah.
it's I tell people it has to start. People have to understand they got to go vote. Some people say my vote does not, my voice doesn't matter. Yes, at this local level, this low, they need to go vote.
They need to go
and
vote.
Get some of us new people. Everybody that's in my group, we have a group of people. They're all
Yeah, I
new.
seen the one lady. She's running something for the school system.
Yes,
School board.
Nicole, she's running school board or two as well. So we call ourselves the the dynamic team.
Because both of y'all are pretty much around the same age.
No, I'm way older.
You wait. She's younger. Okay,
Yes.
I thought y'all.
She's in her 30s. I'm in my 50s.
Okay. But you know what? Sometimes you need some new blood in there.
Exactly.
You need to mix it up a little bit. Shake it up.
Well, when you look at the city council, heck, I'll be the second youngest. There is
second
no-
youngest.
Yes, I would be the second youngest.
Because I was looking at it, and most council people, they be there for so many years.
Because people
and
don't
my
like
thought is they get complacent a little bit because you're in there so long. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if your constituents are not making you grow and change things and keeping you on your toes, then a lot of stuff can get lost.
Exactly.
A lot of your what do you say that you and a group of you are young people, are young in the, not young people, but young in politics.
Yes.
What is one of some of the things that you guys are talking about tackling together?
That's a good question.
I know it is.
Yes. Okay. What we're doing to tackle together is because we have 7 wards within our group.
Okay.
We have 1, 2, 3, let's see, and 5. So we don't have everyone in every 7 wards. So an example, me and Nicole, we're the only one that has a school and a city, and then we got the mayor. So I guess you could say it's three. It's
Okay.
3 in our group. And then in another group, we just have one person that's in that. Maybe school board. Another one that may just be city council. So what we're doing, we picked a day out of the month for each one of us to tackle that section only. So when I tell you we're out there hustling for each other because we believe in each other, each one of us, our values kind of coincide with each other, which is freaking phenomenal. It gives me chill bumps just thinking about that. Yes.
So that's what you and Nicole was out there beating the pack, because I seen she had on, everybody had her stuff on, her T-shirt on,
Yes.
had her signs, and you
Yes.
was over there. You didn't even wear your shirt. You was
Girl,
a
I didn't even get my shirts to the other day.
Okay. But you were representing her.
Exactly. Yes.
You were pushing her narrative.
Well, we were pushing both of ours because
Okay.
we're the same ward. So
Okay.
a door that she goes to, she talk about herself first, then she speaks about me. Just like with me, when I'm going to doors, I speak about myself, then I speak about her. So that's how
Okay.
we do it, and then we speak about Sam.
That's sharing the limelight.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times people can get beside themselves and want everything about them.
Well, so you have to realize that even with school board, they're supported by city council. So if you have both of us together that get the position, we're gonna help each other.
Okay.
And see, that's the issue that we have. The school board is not coinciding with city council when they're not helping each other like the way that they should.
They're not and they're not in support of each other like you all are coming in.
Yes.
And changing that.
That's exactly what we want. Not saying that it's not happening, but it's not happening fast enough.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is, as a group, what is some of the things that you guys are talking about?
We're definitely speaking about affordable living. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, the infrastructure. We want to make it, when I tell you traffic in Marrietta during a certain time is horrible, we want to make that better.
So, I mean, how would you going to put some streets up in the sky?
Girl, would you like that?
Yes. Like the Jetsons, get some of those things and take some of the traffic away?
We want to work on things like trying to get a trolley in Marrietta, or getting the bus system going through Marietta to
get some of those cars off the street.
Because even when I was canvassing, we have one lady. She's what am I trying to say? She drives planes, so she's a pilot. And the thing is, her husband has to take her to the to the airport a lot of times, and there's so much traffic. He was like, well, if there was a bus or that went that way, it would be so much easier. So what me and our team want to do is try to come up with better ways, solutions to help with all that.
You know what? That would be amazing. Let me tell you something. When we had to come to your event space in Marrietta, coming from the South Side, we would have to leave almost 3 hours early.
Yep.
To get to that other. So that is major if you guys could get a trolley system in Marietta.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people that move to Marietta that works downtown.
Exactly.
And if you go downtown in Marietta about 4:00, it's a done deal.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was growing up in Marietta like for you?
Well, for me, it wasn't that hard, only because I was pretty much the only black person in the neighborhood, so I didn't get to go to many places. I didn't have that many friends. I say that because, a lot of my schoolmates, they looked at me, they thought, well, she thinks she's too good because she lives over here. And in reality, that was
your black friend.
Yeah, that was my black friends, and then at that time, it wasn't that many kids on our street, so there wasn't any black or white people for me to really play with around there. So I was kind of by myself.
Oh my! Is that why you got so many kids?
Look, have my
Because
own
you
friends.
grew up by yourself. You got a whole house full now.
That part, yes.
And you got a beautiful grandbaby.
Oh, girl, I got 11 grandkids.
You got 11 grandkids?
11, yes.
Oh my! So if anybody could run a household, 11 grandbabies, they can definitely run a council.
Exactly.
You
yes.
are the perfect person. And I'm not saying that because she's my friend.
Right.
But I, when I found out that you were running for councilwoman, I moved one of my shows to November because I needed to be able to touch the people. Because if you're on ABC, NBC, you on those major stations, you touching some.
Exactly.
But your constituents, they are people who watch YouTube, who watch Facebook, who watch Instagram, and I knew I needed to have you here so that people can see how genuine and authentic and such a beautiful person that you are, that we believe in. We're also part of an agency. We're part of a modeling agency called TLA Agency. And this is where I met you from.
Yes.
And from the beginning, from the time that I put my eyes on you, and we were at Sakana Rose's house trying on clothes.
Yes.
I was like, I love this person already.
Well, thank you.
So being raised by yourself, now you have these children, you're running for councilwoman. How do you plan on the relationship with your spouse? Because this is also about dating too.
Yes.
There's something that you have to set aside, or time or something. Time management. How are you gonna balance all that?
When I tell you time management has become my best friend, I truly learned. Sometimes I've learned, and I tell people, you can't be everywhere every time. You have to pick and choose what's best for you and what's best for your family. Even when it comes to him, I'll let him know, these are things that before I took on this position to do this, I had to let him know, look, my time is going to be needed here, but I know my time is needed here as well. So let's come together and let's build a schedule together. So therefore, there's no conflict. And when I tell you, and I write down what all I need to do, and he see what all needs to be done, he said, let's go.
That easy.
That easy.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if it's going to change, but that was that easy. Yeah.
Because he ain't seeing it yet, how much the councilman is going to pull on you.
Yes.
It's definitely going to.
Well, like they say, the first year is going to be the hardest because there's a lot of training. There's a lot of things that need to be taken care of. He says that, he's definitely willing to do that. And he didn't help build the website. He didn't help build the flyers. He didn't help build pretty much everything.
Wow. Because your website page, everything looks amazing.
Oh, look, he
did that?
That part, yes.
Oh, I'm going to have to hire him for some stuff.
Right.
But, okay, so what type of training are you going to have to go through when you become, because I keep putting it in the atmosphere, when
Exactly.
you become a councilwoman?
Well, that I don't know yet,
Okay.
what type of training we'll actually have. They just said that there is like a 3-week course that we do have to go through. So I'm not exactly sure what all that pertains. But like I said, I'm ready for the challenge. Just give me just say, you won.
You won. So when will you have to stop being a bailiff at that point?
No.
You get to keep your full-time job?
All of them got jobs, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So bailiff, wife, council. Ooh, your plate about to go like
That just means my plate just getting
Gonna be higher and higher.
Yes.
That
It
is
just means there's
amazing.
more stuff on my plate to eat.
And it's also going to be it's going to keep you right in touch with everything that's happening. That is going to be a plus for you.
Yes.
To be that bailiff and see what's coming through the courts, see what's needed. Tell me, will any of your, I don't know what they call it, the things that you want to do, that you're going to bring to the table,
Yes. Okay.
will you reach out to more of the adoption part of, bringing awareness to that?
To me, that's very important because you never know what your next door neighbor is going through. They may be going through something to where the mother may be stressed out and she don't know what to do with her child, or the dad may be stressed out. So to me, teaching a family, making sure that they know the values, letting the mom know, look, I understand you stressed. Let's go take this course, or let's go do this. Let's go paint. Let's go do something fun. Let's get you busy, even with the dad. It could be vice versa. Dad, let's build it. Find out what's going on in the home so we can help better to make sure that the kids are still staying in the family so they don't go into foster care. Now, I'll tell you this. Not every parent is made to be a mother or father. Yeah. I will say that.
Yes.
I got to lay that on the table.
That is true.
Unification, what me doing, being a CASA advocate, is not always needed.
And you will stay that as well?
No. No.
Okay. What about community centers?
Community is, I'm all up in that. Now, as far as helping CASA.
Because I know you are good with the children that came into the platforms that you gave a lot of children when you had Colorful Creations open. That was experience that you were getting to become councilwoman. You might not know that.
Well, thank you.
Okay, but we need more community centers. I know a community center raised me.
Yes.
If it wasn't for a community center, I don't know where I might have ended up, because I played pool. We did creative stuff. We went on field trips. So how will you work toward that? Because you're so good at it.
Well, see, once I am councilwoman, I want to make sure that I get on some of these boards so I can make sure that the community centers are still there. Because, when you start building high-priced homes, they may not want the community centers. But what they're not realizing is these community centers are keeping these kids off the streets. So if you got a place for your child that's 8, 9, 10 to go to, they're out there having fun versus being at home figuring out the next person that they can rob.
And social media.
Exactly.
They'll
Oh
keep
my
them off
gosh,
social
yes.
media.
Yes. So, community centers are needed. Activities are needed. After school programs are needed. So that's something I'm definitely going to be fighting for real.
I knew you would.
Of course, yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to wrap this up. Tell me if you had to talk to someone that is coming up that went through some of the experience that you have, and they get to a point in their life that say, "Oh no, I can't do none of this." What would you say to them?
I tell them to go find a friend like Tanya. She'll keep you lifted.
Say that again.
I tell them to go find a friend like Tanya. She'll keep you lifted. The thing is, like they say, everybody needs a friend or two because we all get depressed. We all get to a point we feel like we're at our last end. There's no doubt about hell. I've been there. So I've been there. But I've always had a couple of friends that remind me how good I am, how compassionate I am about helping others. And if something happened to you, Akella, who's going to take on that position? So we need you. And when I tell you, that's like giving me that extra strength when I get depressed or when I get sad because I didn't get this or I wasn't able to do this or I wasn't able to help this person. Somebody got my back. So I say, get you a couple of people that have your back. Yeah. And like I say, a lot of times I don't even have to fight my battles because I got my friends.
Your friends?
They fight my battles for me. And I tell them I will fight their battles for them. So that way you're not at the front when it comes to something.
Okay. Can you tell my audience if you were speaking to them as running for city council, Marrietta, Ward 2?
See?
I always got to say that because you ought to see when I did this flyer, she kept correcting me on it. So what would you say to the people out there that you saying, I am running for councilwoman? What would you say?
I would say this, my people that are out there watching, this is something new for a lot of people that are in our group. When I say, please go register to vote. Early voting starts October the 14th through the 31st. Election day is November the 4th. Register to vote so you can vote and look people up. Don't just vote for them because you like them. Look to see what they're actually doing. Have a conversation with them. You know, even when I've been canvassing, sometimes people open the doors, sometimes they don't open the doors. I'll leave my literature. Some people may look at me for the color of my skin and be like, no, I'm not. But I say, open that door or have that conversation. Pick up the phone call so you can get to know me because I am going to be your councilwoman one day. If not this time, it's going to be. So you go see me again. So let's go and do it now so I can help you.
Wow. So if we got anything to do with, she gonna be in office. I can't vote for in Marrietta, but I can definitely push for her to become councilwoman. And I'm telling you guys, and I'm not saying this just because she's my friend. If you want change, you got to do something different.
Exactly.
If you keep doing the same old thing, you're gonna get what you always got. So you gotta make a change.
Exactly.
Akella, I am so grateful that you decided to come and be here for me.
Yes.
So we can do this because I wanted to put you out there like that.
Thank you.
Because I believe in you wholeheartedly, and I believe in her family. I love her family. And as we wrap this episode up, I want to take a moment to reflect on the remarkable journey of Akella Clore. Running for city council in Ward 2 of Marrietta, she embodies the essence of community and service dedication. Akella is not only a devoted mother to her 9 children, 4 that's biological theirs, but she's also poured her heart into uplifting countless others in the community. Her infectious smile and kind heart draws people in, making her a beloved figure in Marrietta. Her commitment to helping others is an event in everything she does, whether it's advocating for children's needs or organizing dance groups that encourage older communities members to stay active and engaged. Akella's willingness to put others first and fight for what she believes in is truly inspiring. With the unwavering support from her family, her husband, mother, her children, Akella is a shining example for how one person can make a significant impact. The community rallies behind her, recognizing the love, dedication she brings in every endeavor. As she embarks to a new chapter, we wish her all the success in her campaign. Akella Clore is not just a candidate, she's a beacon of hope, a champion for people in Marietta. We look forward to seeing all the great things she will accomplish for her community and beyond. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
We love you.
Oh, love you too.
All right. Thank you for being here with us. I know y'all could have heard anything that you wanted on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in with the Diary of Dating Over 50. We'll be back with another episode. Have a good night. Thank you.
The hottest dating show on social media, hosted by the sassiest model of them all, Tanya R. Lewis. Are you 50 and single, dating or waiting to mingle? Be a guest on the Diary of Dating Over 50 with your host, Tanya R. Lewis.
This podcast is brought to you by the Scottdale Podcast Cafe.